All right, we're going to talk about statistics, to give you an example. We're on page 832, or I'm on page 832. I'm going to do question number 1. Question number 1 is talking about rainfall in Pennsylvania. The first thing we do is take our data, and we arrange our data from the wind speed table, well not rainfall, wind speed. Arrange that in order from smallest to greatest. So, as I look over the data, I have 7 5/10, 7 6/10, 7 7/10, 8 9/10, 9/10, or I'm sorry, 9, 9 5/10, and 11. Let me count, make sure I have the right ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. We have 7 data points. This is great. It's going to work out well. Now, when I've done that, I've got my data in order from least to greatest. The next thing I want, the first thing it says is, what is the range of my data? We find range by subtracting the largest data point and the smallest data point. So it would be 11 minus 7 5/10. Put a 0 there, subtract. I regroup. Gives me 3 and 5/10. So my range is 3 and 5/10. Not a problem. So let me erase the work here, put this off to the side. Range equals 3 and 5/10. Next thing, it wants the median and the first and third quartiles. The reason we ask for the first and third quartiles and not the second is because the median is the second quartile. And the median is found by finding a number that is right in the middle of my data set. Because I have 7 points, it'll be my 4th number in, because that leaves me 3 to one side and 3 to the other side. So I'll go ahead and write Q1, Q2, Q3 off to the side. So my first quartile, second quartile, and third quartile. 8 9/10 is my second quartile. It is also my median. It's my median. That middle number. Now this is great because I have 3 numbers over here, and I want to find the one that's right in the middle, and the one that's right in the middle for my Q1, we'll go ahead and mark Q2 here. 7 6/10 is my Q1 data. So I can write that in here. 7 6/10 is my Q1 data. And we're so lucky here, we got 3 numbers on this side, and so I pick my middle number of my data set. This is easy because we're not having to find the mean between 2 numbers. This is my Q3 data, or my Q3 point is 9 5/10. So of my data, my Q1, my first quartile is 7 6/10. My second quartile is 8 9/10. My third quartile range ends at 9 5/10. Now we want to look at what's called the interquartile range. Interquartile range is found by having Q3, your third quartile, and subtracting your first quartile. So I found my third, and so that equals 9 5/10. I'm going to subtract my first quartile, which is 7 6/10. Going to have to regroup. So my interquartile range is 1 and 9/10. That's how we find interquartile range. Fairly simple, just Q3 minus Q1. Now we take this because now we're going to talk about outliers. And outliers are numbers that lie so far outside the data that it doesn't make sense. And there's a calculation for this, and it's a multi-step calculation. So this is what we do. We take our interquartile range, multiply by 1 and 5/10, and I have a Q3 outlier. I add this number for my outlier, and for my outlier, this is on my high side. On my low side outlier, I'm going to take my interquartile range that I found, multiply it by 1.5, so basically the same number. I'm going to take my Q1 data, or my Q1 data point, and subtract this number. So, we calculate this at 1, our interquartile range at 1 and 9/10. So if I do 1 and 9/10 times 1 and 5/10, just do add this together and I get 2 85/100. So now to find my outlier points, because what we're doing with this outlier is we're building a fence around our data. And anything that's on the low side of the fence is an outlier, or on the high side of the fence is an outlier. We don't need it. So, I take my Q3, which was 9.5, 9 5/10, and I add 2 85/100. So my Q3 outlier is going to equal 12 35/100. My Q1 outlier, I'm going to take that same number, that number I calculated out of 1.1 9/10 times 1 5/10, and I'm going to subtract it from my Q1 point, which is 7.6 or 7 6/10 minus 2 85/100. Put a 0 there as a holder, and I start to subtract. I have to regroup here. I have to regroup here. Bring my decimal down. 4 75/100. So my Q3 outlier is 12 35/100. My Q1 outlier is 4 75/100. So any data point that lies between 4 75/100 or lies outside of, and 12 35/100, that's outside here, if it's to the low side or to the high side, if it's outside of this fence that we built, it's considered an outlier and we don't need it. I hope this is helpful. If you have any questions, again, snap a picture, send me a message, and I'll get to you if I'm available. If you have any questions, get hold of me.